I first just want to thank everyone here for the leadership that you provide every day. I have only 2 minutes, so I just want to say this. We all stand on broad shoulders, those who came before us and fought a good fight. And the way that I think about this moment in time is that they passed us a baton in this relay race. And the question will be, what do we do with the moment that we have? And what I know is that the folks in this room are leading on all of those things that we know we must fight for. Education, housing, economic wealth, and security. And I will tell you that as President of the United States, those will, as they have always been, be my priorities. I know that this is an inflection moment in the history of our country. It is a moment in time where we are being required to look in a mirror and ask a question, that question being, who are we? And what we know, NAACP, is we are better than this. And so this is a moment in time where we must fight for the best of who we are, and fight we will. And this is not a new fight for us. We are up to this fight. We know how to fight the good fight when it's about fighting for equality and fairness and justice. We know this fight. And I come from a family of fighters. My parents were active in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. My sister and I joked we grew up surrounded by a bunch of adults who spent full time marching and shouting about this thing called justice. And it is why Thurgood Marshall and Charles Hamilton Houston and Constance Baker Huntley and all of those broad shoulders upon whom we stand fought that good fight, and so now it is ours with the baton that we have. And I will tell you, I am prepared to fight for the America we believe in. We have always been deep of faith, and we have always believed in what can be unburdened by what has been. That is the fight before us, and we will win.
All right, so come on, let's take some questions. All right, so did you watch TV this morning, by any chance?
I did not. I've been on a plane flying here.
All right, so I'm going to ask.
I heard about it, but I didn't think about it.
What do you think you want to say today?
Well, from what I gathered, he said everything that he said in that report. And it is that there is no exoneration. He said what that report reads and says, which is that there are 10 clear separate incidents of obstruction of justice, and that the only reason there was not an indictment returned is because of a memo in the United States Department of Justice that says a sitting president cannot be indicted. So we know what we knew then. The problem, April, where we are, and I believe the need, therefore, for Mueller to testify today, was that the intervening fact between that investigation and the report was the current Attorney General of the United States misleading the American people. And so that needed to be cleared up. But I will tell you, having run the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, which was the California Department of Justice, I am very clear that there are outlined incidents of obstruction of justice, and no matter what this current Attorney General and the President of the United States try to say, the American people are smart enough to know what is and what is not true.
So, as you mentioned, your job as prosecutor, let's go back to that time. I want to ask you about high-profile cases and how you would handle them if elected president of the United States. Would you have charged the officer accused of the choking death of Eric Garner, yes or no?
Well, I was just actually with Eric Garner's mother yesterday. And I will tell you that we spent a great deal of time together. First of all, part of what is wrong with this, what happened, and also the way that this happens every day in America, is we have to honor the grief of her mother and give her the dignity she deserves. The second problem with that case is that, and everyone I think knows this, the United States Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division made a recommendation that that case be charged. But the Attorney General,
during the Obama years,
and the Attorney General, the current Attorney General, instead went to the Eastern District of New York and bypassed the recommendation of the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice. Under my administration, the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice will have priority in terms of weighing in on what these cases should be. Furthermore, in a Harris administration, we will require independent investigations of these cases to ensure that there is justice, unimpeded by bias, unimpeded by prior relationships.
I'll ask you another legal issue. As president, how would you handle the ASAP Rocky case in Sweden? How will you use your power to make sure misuse of power doesn't happen in cases like this, and that this case would stay in the State Department and not go to the White House?
Listen, there is no question that this White House has been playing politics with his with his role of leadership, and it has to end. This president, I just want to back up for a second. So, you know, I have fought predators. I fought the 5 big banks of the United States when they were preying on the homeowners of the United States and pushing those loans and then rubber stamping foreclosures, which particularly helped hurt black families in America. I took on those banks. I have taken on the predators that have been the pharmaceutical companies and the big oil companies that have preyed on consumers, preyed on seniors. And I'm going to tell you something. We have a predator living in the White House. And the thing you got to know is that it is the nature of predators. It is their instinct and their nature to prey on those they perceive to be vulnerable.
Absolutely.
To prey on those they perceive to be weak. To prey on those who are in need of help, often desperate for help.
Yeah.
And the other thing about predators, they're cowards. They're cowards. And I am prepared, April, to prosecute the case against 4 more years of Donald Trump.
Amen.
And there is a rap sheet. And when you look at the fact that this president said he was going to come in and help working families, but passed a tax bill benefiting the top 1% and the biggest corporations of America. You talk about how he said he was going to come in and help working families and with health care, but then has tried with everything he had to get rid of Obamacare. You look at the fact that this is a president who has pushed policies that has been about putting babies in cages at the border in the name of border security, when in fact what it is a human rights abuse being committed by the United States government.
Amen.
We have got to take this case on against Donald Trump and expose it for what it is.
So you're saying this is another piece on the rap sheet of Donald Trump, this misuse of power and the ASAP Rocky case?
Yes.
All right, say it loud.
Yes!
I just wanted the folks to hear.
I'm black and I'm proud.
Say that again. I didn't hear you. What did you
Say
say?
it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
All right, here we go. Okay. How does your new criminal justice plan answer what some call the failed war on drugs with collateral consequences?
So, on a number of levels. First of all, we just actually, with Jerry Nadler, who is the head of the Judiciary Committee in the House in the United States Congress, we just rolled out what I intend to do that is not only about decriminalizing and legalizing marijuana, but also what we need to do to ensure that this industry, because check this out, the legalization of marijuana, it has happened in my state of California, a state of 40 million people. It's happened in Colorado, many other places. People are making a lot of money right now. Mm-hmm. People are making a lot of money off of this new industry. And here's the irony and what is wrong about it. Those young men and women who for years were selling it on the street and are now felons for life have been excluded from this industry, and now people are making a lot of money doing the exact same thing. So part of what I'm proposing is that they be first in line to get those jobs, that their decisions not prevent them from having access to an industry where they can support themselves and their families. It's all Harris.org, because we have a number of proposals. Part of what I'm prepared to do also is deal with the issue of home ownership and closing the racial wealth gap in the United States. And I want to talk specifically about this because it is long overdue. We know there is a history from back with World War II, when people were coming back from war and the United States government said, we're going to help build a new middle class, and gave all of these promotions and money to these returning veterans, but black veterans were excluded from that.
Yep.
You look at the history of redlining, where black folks here in Detroit were excluded from home ownership, which is one of the greatest sources of wealth for any family in America. And then you look at the foreclosure crisis that disproportionately impacted black families. So what I'm prepared to do is put $100 billion of federal money into focusing on families living in red-lined districts, to focus on families living in federally subsidized housing, to help with down payments for home ownership, and also to change the credit history process so that when you pay your phone bill on time, when you pay your utility bill on time, when you pay your rent on time, that will also be measured as